Do we have questions from the audience?
Was there a question that?
Yeah, bring it.
We'll do this one to be the end.
Bring it on.
Since they came to all the trouble, come down to the studio.
Yeah, we actually drove all the way from Tampa, Florida to come visit. So
awesome.
Oh, cool.
So my question is really quick, and I think you'll be able to answer it pretty quickly. After the shooting in Parkland, Florida, the Florida State Legislature proposed a bill that would require "In God We Trust" to be displayed in all public schools. So obviously, there's lots of people who disagree with this. There's lots of people that totally support it. But there's a pretty good group of people, some friends of mine included, that are kind of wishy-washy. They're on the fence. They say, well, it couldn't be a bad thing. It couldn't hurt. So my question to you is, why is this, if I'm having a conversation with them, how can I go about addressing this and talking about why this is a bad issue and why it might, in fact, be a compromise of church and state, separation of church and state? So.
Sure. So the first thing I'd ask him is, what if we proposed that we sacrifice 2 chickens and a goat every day before school? Would that be objectionable? And yet, that's at least not unconstitutional. And both of them are equally effective in addressing the problem. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If the Florida legislature passed a law that said vanilla ice cream is the best ice cream and vanilla ice cream makes everything better in response to people getting shot, how callous would people consider the Florida legislature to be, given that they were talking about some fucking ice cream when a bunch of people were dead on the floor?
Yeah, I'm sick to death of thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. How about actions?
Yeah.
How about actions instead of thoughts and prayers?
Or at least give up the prayers and double down on those thoughts. Maybe make them better.
I've got a bag that can hold 10 pounds of dirt. And in addition to the 10 pounds of dirt, it can hold all the thoughts and prayers in existence. Mm-hmm. And the dirt is at least useful.
Mm-hmm. Can we
I am
seal it
so
and
sick to death. And I applaud the students from Parkland who are standing up to do the things that the money-grubbing politicians won't do. Now, I said before that we're in the United States, we get to vote, and it's a participatory government. We can run for office. Neither of us are going to get elected as shit anytime soon. But we can at least participate in this. And I think, personally, and I'm a gun owner, I think the NRA is the greatest threat to the Second Amendment rights, even as they see them. It's like having someone on your side of an issue who goes way too far and wants to burn everything to the ground. If you're an NRA member because you like guns, you've backed the wrong horse. And if you, as a politician, have decided to say, hey, we'll do thoughts and prayers and in God we trust, and then not take any action that makes anybody safer, you're a jackass. You are a whore, and you need to be removed from office by people who actually take action. And lastly, while I appreciate the applause out there, it's frustrating to me to see this. But here's the thing, and Callie brought this up to me when she was in town last week. The overwhelming majority of deaths that are gun-related come from handguns. So even if we got all kinds of action, even if we pointed out that the Second Amendment doesn't actually protect AR-15s, it doesn't. Even if we agreed that we should get rid of bump stocks, even if we talked about these other things and we walked back down the video games cause violence bullshit, which science, learn it. But even if we did all that, we've barely made a dent in the problem related to gun violence. I'm not anti-gun. I'm for sensible regulations. I think there are good cases to be made for why people at least currently still might need or want guns or be allowed to have them. But you can't have any sort of rational conversation when the people who are making the decisions say, Second Amendment thoughts and prayers, see ya! You guys are the problem, and the kids are the solution. And when they start voting, they're going to vote your ass out, and they're going to take over, and I'm going to sit back in my rocking chair as an old, ignorant jackass and laugh and laugh and laugh at how career politicians who want to do nothing but whore around lobbyists chose their position and their money over doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't hear him praying, I don't see him thinking, and we're not anti-gun, we're anti-murder and death. So.
Yeah. Hey, if you're so opposed to immigrants, why don't you just pray they don't come here? Why do we need a Muslim ban? Can't you just pray? I saw a sign the other day at an antique shop that says, say your prayers and wash your hands because Jesus and germs are everywhere. Well, if Jesus is everywhere, why the hell would I have to wash my hands? Can't he protect me from the germs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the people, God's going to save me. Why do you have health insurance? Why'd you take medicine? Why didn't you just pray for that?
Well,
It's garbage, it's nonsense, and it's offensive. People, oh, I'm offended by this, and how dare you threaten my rights, and blah, blah, blah. And I don't give a rat's ass about your offense. People are dying, and you're making excuses, and it has to stop now. Thus endeth the show.